but from years of waiting for a moment that felt impossibly fragile and overwhelmingly heavy all at once. The audience could not yet see the nights spent rehearsing alone, the doubts whispered in empty studios, or the promise made long ago to someone who would never sit in these seats, but every part of that history trembled inside the stillness before the music began. Freckled Sky had never imagined standing on a stage like this as a child, not because the dream was too big, but because life had been too loud. Growing up in a small town where expectations arrived early and dreams arrived late, Sky learned quickly how invisible people could become when their passions did not fit neatly into the world around them. Each failure taught patience. Each success felt borrowed, and kindness from strangers often arrived unexpectedly, like someone offering a warm meal or a place to rehearse for an hour without asking for anything in return. Years later, when Sky lost their mother to an illness that came swiftly and left too much silence behind, the world felt drained of color. Dance became slower, heavier, and for a while it seemed impossible to move at all. It was kindness, again, that carried Sky through. A neighbor who sat quietly without forcing words. A former teacher who reminded Sky that art does not disappear just because grief demands space. In those months, water took on a new meaning. No longer just beauty, but memory, loss, and the way love continues to move even after everything else stops. The invitation to audition for AGT felt unreal, like a letter meant for someone braver. Sky hesitated, not out of fear of failure, but out of fear of standing alone with a story that felt too personal for bright lights and loud applause. Yet something inside whispered that stories meant to heal rarely belong to only one person. The performance began to take shape, not as a showcase of skill, but as an offering, a quiet conversation between light, water, and the human heart. Backstage, moments before stepping out, Sky watched other performers pacing, laughing, praying, and breathing through nerves that mirrored their own. There was comfort in that shared vulnerability, in knowing that everyone here carried something unseen. When the cue came, Sky stepped forward, feeling the cool surface beneath bare feet, hearing the faint hum of machinery ready to release water and light into motion. As the music rose, projections bloomed across the floor like memories coming alive, and water responded as if it understood the story being told. Each movement traced loss and hope, each ripple catching light that transformed into fleeting images of hands reaching, falling, and rising again. The audience leaned forward, unsure whether they were watching dance or witnessing something closer to a confession. Judges forgot their pens, and for a moment the competition vanished, replaced by a shared stillness that felt sacred. Halfway through the performance, an unexpected malfunction caused the projections to flicker, threatening to shatter the carefully built illusion. In that split second, Sky felt panic surge, the kind that reminds you how easily dreams can slip away. But instead of stopping, Sky adapted, turning the flicker into part of the story, moving with raw improvisation. letting water splash freely as if chaos itself had been invited on stage. The imperfection made the performance more human, more honest, and the audience responded not with confusion, but with empathy. In the final movement, the water slowed, projections softened, and sky knelt as light formed the shape of a single glowing horizon. The gesture was simple, almost humble, quiet acknowledgement that no one moves forward alone. As the music faded, silence returned, heavier and fuller than before. For a heartbeat, no one clapped, not because they were unimpressed, but because they were absorbing something that words could not touch. When the golden buzzer was pressed, releasing its cascade of golden confetti, it felt less like a victory and more like a blessing. Sky did not collapse in joy, but looked upward through falling gold, thinking of rain on a window, of borrowed studios, of grief transformed into movement. The generosity of that moment belonged not just to Sky, but to everyone who had believed, when belief cost them nothing but heart. Later, in the quiet after the storm, Sky spoke not of talent, but of gratitude, reminding viewers that art grows strongest where kindness lives. Messages poured in from across the world, people sharing how the performance reminded them of someone they had lost, or a dream they had nearly abandoned. Teachers wrote about showing the clip to students, parents about watching with children, strangers about finding hope in unexpected places. Freckled Sky continued to dance, not chasing fame, but carrying forward the same promise made long ago, to let water keep moving, to let light reveal what words cannot. And for everyone who watched, the performance became a gentle reminder that humanity does not always roar. Sometimes it ripples, quietly and persistently, until it reaches every corner willing to feel.